Are you ready for the King of the Ice? Pete's Power Plays with Philly Pete starts now on 12-Ounce Sports.
And good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the Wednesday, December 8th, 2021 episode of Pete's Power Plays. I'm your host, the King of the Ice and Fantasy Football Guru, Philly Pete, and we're live on 12-Ounce Sports and Zingo TV, channel 761. Thank you all so much for taking time out of your afternoons and hanging out as we discuss last night's huge NHL card that we had. I had 18 plays on the ice last night. I mean, it's crazy. You could have 10 to 12 games, and I could still be posting a lot of them, a lot of bets. So, that's just how it is. Some Thursday night football tomorrow night, Vikings, Steelers, DFS players, get you a little early head start into that. Also tonight, we only have 4 games on ice. So you go from 10 games to 4, simple as that. But that's just how the NHL scheduling works. But as always, Pete's Power Plays is sponsored by BetUS. 12-Ounce Sports is an official partner of BetUS. Create an account with them today. Use the promo code 12ounce12OZ. And from there, they'll match your first deposit up to 125%. Once again, BetUS. Create an account today. Use the promo code 12ounce12OZ, and they'll match your first deposit up to 125%. Zingo TV, channel 761. If you don't have Zingo TV, it's a free app. Download it, Zingo, on every streaming device out there. It's a free app, too, like I said. Download it, and then once you do so, flip over to channel 761, that's 761, where you'll be hearing today's episode live of Pete's Power Plays. Also, holidays are here. 12-Ounce Sports also has an Amazon website that you can help support the crew. Go to www.12ouncesportsradio.com/Amazon, and also don't forget to check out the 12-Ounce Sports store, where you'll be seeing a lot of Pete's Power Plays apparel. Pick up your sweatshirt, your hoodie, whatever it may be. I sell shirts, tanks, hoodies, sweatshirts, like I said. Get your apparel today. Support me like always. I've been supporting each and every one of you. I also drop some King of the Ice apparel as well if you want to dig in on that. But the Pete's Power Plays hoodies have been a much bigger commodity this past year. So I appreciate those that bought there and purchased their hoodies and represented your boy, Philly Pete. Okay, so last night, right off the bat, let's talk about last night's NHL plays that we had last night. Again, I go 8-10. You know, what can I say? It's one of those nights where you have a lot of plays on the ice. It's what you want to do. I loved all of these plays, to be honest. I love them all, so that's why I'm posting them all. And as transparent as I am, one of the best, if not one. Actually, honestly, there are a lot of transparent cappers on Twitter. Let me take that back. There are a bunch of you guys out there that are transparent and definitely post their losses, but a lot of you don't. So I do respect those that do tweet out their losses. Don't hide. No need to hide. We know what you have. Simple as that. Those are transparent. Keep up the good work. That's just how it is. All right. So right now we are 17 of the last 24 now. NHL cards are on the plus side. Still rocking and rolling from November into December now. Last night was obviously just a tough nail biter. That's just how it is. You lose units on the ice. That's just how it is. But 17 of the last 24 NHL cards are still on the plus side. We're still rocking and rolling. So let's dig deep down into this. Lightning and Habs over first period, 1.5 goals. You had a goal in the first 10 minutes. Basically had a half a period to get that second goal, but unfortunately didn't work out. He had a couple power plays each way. Tampa had one. Montreal had one. Couldn't even connect. So that lost. Islanders on the money line. That was a winner. That was probably one of the plays I was really confident on yesterday. I spoke with it, of course, at Tone's Takes, my man Tone and I, yesterday on the show discussing the Islanders. It's tough. At minus 150, of course, there's a lot of juice there. You can't really trust a team that's minus 150 that hasn't really been winning on the ice. But this was a game that I feel like was a lock, and they definitely kicked some butt last night, and happy to cash that out. So that Islanders on the money line, that cashes out. Ducks money line and over 5.5. That did not cash out at all. Again, this was a game that it seemed like a trap. It seemed like a trap. The Sabres were giving up goals left and right. The Ducks, scoring at will while giving up goals. I mean, this was a game that everyone loved the over. So I mean, that's unfortunate. It was about to happen eventually. Sabres were due for an under after giving up goals like Christmas gifts. Of course, but that same game parlay loses. Panthers and Blues over 6, that cashes out. Blues on the money line was my dog play of the night yesterday. Like I said on the show yesterday with Tone, I did mention that the Blues money line was my dog play of the night at plus 140. So congrats to those that tailed. That was a good dog play right there. And like I said, we even cashed out the Sharks a couple nights ago at plus 120. So the dog plays have been cashing out for me as of late. So that's good to see. So Blues plus 140 on the money line, that cashes out. Panthers Blues over 1.5 first period. You get a total of 7 goals at the end of the day here. Only got 1 in the first period. That's just how it goes. So that lost there. Rangers Hawks over first period, that cashed out pretty easily in the first 5 minutes. Sharks again, a team that playing well. I mean, Flames are red hot. They're coming in red hot right now, minus 140 or minus 145 on the money line that I had. I lost the Flames money line. But again, the Sharks had to give some credit to the Sharks, man. They're coming back home after a back-to-back, basically, a day's rest. But playing on the road to Columbus and then coming back home to play Calgary, a red-hot Calgary team, and basically beating them at home 5-3. I mean, the over cashed out. I wasn't even on the over. My show play yesterday was the under, but Flames. I didn't expect the Sharks to basically break down the Flames like they did, and kudos to the Sharks for winning that game on the money line. So Flames, they lost for me. Preds Oils money line parlay, that lost at plus 215. I had to do it. It was a good value there. However, the Preds money line, that was a winner. Ducks money line, that was a winner. Ducks Sabres over 5.5. Like I said, I did them separately as well. That lost. Leafs Jackets over 6 was a winner. Bolts minus 1.5 on the puck line at plus 130. That lost. I mean, it was crazy. I mean, they had a great comeback at the end, but was not able to cover that goal and a half for us. But that's okay. And then just to round out the rest of the night, Canes Jets over first period 1.5. That did not cash out. You had a goal in the first minute of the game, and then nothing whatsoever in the first period. That's how first periods have been lately. I mean, you're scoring early in the game in the first period, and you can't score at all for the rest of the period. That's just how it's been. And then this Oilers Wild, Wild once again starting to kick some butt as of late. They're playing really good hockey. Oilers are starting to slump now. Oilers and the over 5.5 parlay here, that lost. Oilers Wild over 6.5. That was my favorite over of the night. That wasn't even close. You had 5 goals there. Wild just absolutely demolished the Oilers. Gave up 1 goal. I mean, the Wild are playing extremely well. Played good tight defense. Shutting down the crew for the most part on that offense for the Oilers. But the only good side of the thing of that game was the Oilers Wild over first period, 1.5 goals. So, hey, that's just how it is. You got to take the cake with that sometimes. But all in all, we go 8-10 on the night with a minus 2.9 overall units. NHL season currently sits at 213 wins, 217 losses, and 6 lovely pushes. That gives me a grand total of minus 20.15 overall units. Again, I mean, we're still doing pretty well for last month heading into this month. Like I said, 17 of the last 24 NHL cards now have been on the plus side, so doing pretty good. Still got a lot of work to do, of course, down a little over 20 units now, but nothing crazy. 20.15 units. You can't hide. I can't hide from you guys in terms of transparency because, like I said, I will break down every loss that I had. A couple weeks ago or 3 weeks ago probably, when I had that 0-11 night. No problem for me. I'm not scared. I'm not scared to hide my losses. So I'm more than happy to share these results like every other year that I've been doing this and every other day. So that's just how it is. That's how I have been in terms of transparency because, I mean, that's why you get the respect that you do is telling somebody, I went 0-12 in the NHL. I mean, that's just how it is. A couple people last night went 0 for last night. So, I mean, that's just how it is. And, bounce backs are always ahead. You can't stay cold forever, okay? Just like staying hot. You can't, when you're hot, you're hot. Eventually you'll get cold, and then you'll get cold for a little bit. But, once you're hot, you're hot. Once you're cold, you're cold. And, eventually that cold streak will come back to a hot streak at some point. So just keep your head up, stay positive, and, just keep blasting away with your plays. I mean, can only go up from here. That's just how it is. That's how I fall back. Like I said on the show, I keep telling this time and time again to people out there that are not doing so hot in the past week or so. I was down over 40 units. I was 40 units last month. Okay, yes, 40, not 4. 40 units overall I was down, and now I brought that back to about, like I said, 20 units now that I'm down. So, it's all about the grind. Stay on top of things, keep your head up, stay positive, and that's just how it's going to go. So, like I said, I still have a lot of work to do, but the progress is doing pretty darn well. So, but there you go. Enough of the gossip from me from the NHL. 8-10 overall, minus 2.9 overall units last night, and overall in the season right now, minus 20.15 overall units. So, season is a grind. Still got a long way to go. So let's get back into the action. 4 games tonight. But on that note, I want to take a quick 2-minute commercial break, and when I get back, my NFL DFS early lineup, a couple of players that I have in mind, and then the 4-game slate for tonight. Pretty much locked and loaded who I want to take, and a team that I'm already on right off the bat, and the line has significantly moved since this morning. So sit back, relax, give me 2, and I'll be right back.
Ounce Sports has a new home for betting. BetUS.com is the official place to place your bets and support 12-ounce sports. All you have to do is go to BetUS.com and type in the promo code 120Z and you'll instantly get a deposit bonus. This is America's favorite sportsbook. And remember, always gamble responsibly.
And ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for taking that quick 2-minute commercial break with me. This is the Wednesday, December 8th, 2021 episode of Pete's Power Plays. I'm your host, Philly Pete. We're live on 12-ounce sports and Zingo TV, channel 761. Thank you all so much for taking time out of your afternoons and hanging out. As we discuss tonight's NHL card and, of course, NFL DFS, Steelers, Vikings. A couple of players in mind already to start the tomorrow, right? A little early DFS players that I like, that I have in mind, like I said, for this game tomorrow night. And then my 4-game NHL card, I will go over plays, analysis, the whole shebang. And let's get it kick-started. But, of course, this show, Pete's Power Plays, is sponsored by BetUS. Create an account with them today. Use the promo code 12ounce120Z, and they'll match your first deposit up to 125%. Zingo TV, channel 761, Amazon.com. Like I said, visit the store. Go to www.12ouncesportsradio.com/Amazon. And don't forget to check out the 12-ounce sports store, where you can get and check out your collection of Pete's Power Plays apparel. Like I said, the hoodies are a hot commodity right now, so drop it by. Support me, like you always have done, and it never goes unnoticed. So, but we're back. We're back. 12:15 in the East, 9:15 out in the West. Thank you again for tuning in this afternoon. NFL DFS tomorrow night. Vikings Steelers. This should be a pretty solid game for the most part. Each team basically trying to fight for that wild card spot. This is the first. This is the first lineup in general, Thursday night, Monday night, single games that I haven't had, or I probably, as of now, I don't have a quarterback listed in my top 3 right now. I'm sure we'll obviously get 5 players for FanDuel and DraftKings, but right now my top 3 players don't include Big Ben or Kirk Cousins. I mean, it's a shock. I mean, it's crazy. It's crazy to think that I don't have a quarterback for any of these teams yet going into tomorrow night's FanDuel lineup. But Right now, I have Deontay Johnson, of course, the wide receiver out of the Pittsburgh Steelers. I have Justin Jefferson, of course, the stud receiver out of the Vikings. Right now, Adam Thielen is doubtful for tomorrow night, so that means a lot of Justin Jefferson tomorrow. So put him in your lineups. He should be a guarantee in your lineups as well. A wild card would be to put him as MVP tomorrow. That'd be something to consider as well. But no Thielen. This just gives Jefferson a lot of upside for tomorrow night. And I expect, Kirk Cousins to find him a lot tomorrow night because there's really nobody else to throw. Of course you have like Osborne, of course the tight end, and then you have Madison and the gang. But I think you're gonna pass a lot on this team. You're gonna pass a lot on this Pittsburgh past day. So I like Justin Jefferson a lot tomorrow night, big time. He's a no-brainer for me. Deontay Johnson's a no-brainer for me as well. Vikings pass defense has not been great at all this season. So you can lock those two bad boys in right now. And then Najee Harris, of course, a stud rookie running back, of course, for the Steelers as well. Got to put him in your lineups as well. Those are my top three right now. Justin Jefferson, Deontay Johnson, and, of course, Najee Harris. I expect a lot of things tomorrow from those three, and those are three automatic locks for me going into tomorrow night. So there you have it right now. Najee Harris, Justin Jefferson, and Deontay Johnson for tomorrow night. Okay, now going into the 4-game slate for tonight. All right, we small ice tonight. 4 games on the card. Not 10 games or 12 games or 14 games to go over. Otherwise, I would have started this before my commercial break. But all right, 4 games for tonight. Let's start off. You have pretty solid matchups for the most part. The Philadelphia Flyers, the helpless Philadelphia Flyers against the New Jersey Devils, traveling up north there to North Jersey. Over/under here's at 6. Jersey minus 160 on the money line. Jersey opened up at minus 140, so a little bit of movement going there. Philly plus 135 as a dog on the road on the money line. 70% of the money going towards the Devils here. 30% going to the Flyers. Devils here 6-4-3, 6-4-0-3 at home this year. 5-8 on the road covering the puck line, and 7-3 in the last 10 with the overs. Flyers 4-5-2 on the road, 6-5 on the road covering the puck line, and 6-4 with the overs. Like I said, over/unders at 6 here. I'm going to go right off the bat. I'm going with the over 6 in this game. We're giving up goals aplenty right now, and that's where I'm going. I like the over 6 right off the bat here. I like the first period over 1.5 as well between these two. So expecting to be on both of those totals, first period over and over 6. I like the Flyers here on the money line. It's just like the Islanders. Okay, they are due for a win. Good value here at plus 135. You can even get plus 140 if you shop around. Maybe even plus 145, but I wouldn't say anything more than that. But shop around, get the best number. Flyers had a solid outing against the Avs. They did. They had a solid outing, but you can't compete against that offense. You really can't. But I do like the Flyers here. To be a little bit more safe, I like them on the puck line in a parlay tonight with another team that I will discuss later on. But all in all, my stronger lean for this game is the first period over 1.5 and the over 6. That's where I'm staying at. Small lean, of course, on the Flyers puck line plus 1.5 and the money line at plus 135, plus 140, wherever you may find it there. So there you go. I mean, it's a matter of time for the Flyers to get a win, and what better way to do it against the better half up in North Jersey? So that's where I'm going here tonight. Okay. Moving on, the Colorado Avalanche at the New York Rangers. Over/under set at 6 once again. Colorado opened up at minus 135. This is a game that I already locked in this morning at minus 135. Now it's at minus 170. On the money line. I mean, a lot of movement going towards Colorado. And honestly, in terms of goalies, I just checked it about right before the show 20 minutes ago, and no updates yet in terms of goalies starting, confirmed goalies for any game tonight. So that's the only problem about having my show is that I know it's early, but 75-85% of the time you're not going to get the confirmed goalies because it's too early in the day to figure it out. But for all 4 games tonight, you're not getting one confirmation from any goaltender tonight. So it's up in the air, but a lot of movement going towards the Avalanche at minus 170 on the money line. I already locked it in at minus 135 this morning before the huge change. So that's where I'm on as money line, minus 135. I had that locked and loaded. That's my play for tonight. It looks like 55% of the money is going towards Colorado, so still some love for the Rangers at plus 145. I would take Colorado in regulation, maybe the -1 if you're not feeling that -170 line. It is juicy for sure. But if you missed out on the -135 spot, then I would consider taking the Avs in reg or Avs -1 there. Rangers at home, they're phenomenal this year. Don't get me wrong, 8-1-1 at home this year, 3-7 though on the puck line in their last 10 at home, 4-6 with the overs in the last 10. Avs come in 6-5-1 on the road, 4-8 on the road covering the puck line, and 7-2-1 in their last 10 with the over. I'm rocking the over in this game as well. Give me the over 6. Avs Rangers, and I also like I said, the Avs money line at -135. That's where I locked it in earlier today, and that's where I'm rocking out with. They're at -170 now, so obviously a lot of movement has gone into the Avs. Again, like I mentioned a couple seconds ago, if you're not feeling that -170 spot, take the regulation price or Avs -1. That's where I'm at. I do like the Avs in this situation game. I really do, and the over 6. I really do. Rangers back to back, of course, playing an absolute ass kicking last night at the Hawks, which I was on last night. It wasn't an official play, but yesterday on the show I did mention the over 5.5 and Rangers money line yesterday. So Fleury's 500th game or not, Rangers came out and kicked some butt for sure. So, but they're on a back to back coming home. Avalanche coming into town. These overs have been flying for the Avalanche as of late. So you got to keep rolling, just like the Sabres. All right, they finally lost one over last night. I'm rolling with the Avalanche over once again here tonight. I like the first period over as well. We got it last night with the Rangers. Let's do it with the Avalanche, and let's do it with the Avalanche and Rangers here tonight as well. All right, so let's keep rocking the first period over. Over 6 as well. I like the Avs, of course, money -135 on the money line. And I'm just finding out the word that Kemper's in net for the Avalanche tonight. So that is why you're getting that big hefty number there and juiced price for the Avalanche. So I still like it. I still like the Avs here tonight. No problem at all. And over first period 1.5 and the over 6 Colorado and the New York Rangers. So that's where I stand. All right, moving on. Boston, Vancouver. Over-unders at 5.5. Vancouver plus 115 on the money line. Vancouver opened up at plus 135. Now money's definitely going towards their way. So that value is not as much as it was. Still value, but not as much as it was earlier. Plus 115 now. 70%, and Bruins are minus 135 on the money line. I feel like this is more of a toss-up game than anything, but 75% of the money is going towards the Boston Bruins here. A lot of people in the public, like the public, is definitely all over Boston here tonight. Vancouver only getting 25% of the love. Vancouver is 4-7-1 at home, 6-6 at home in their last 12 covering the puck line, and 2-7-1 in the last 10 with the overs. So obviously the unders have been hitting for them as of late. Boston 5-4 on the road, 5-4 on the road covering the puck line, and 5-5 in their last 10 with the overs. I like the Vancouver Canucks. I do. I like the Canucks here money line at plus 115. You could probably shop around and get as much as plus 125. Just gut feeling with this one. I'm likely going to lay off of this, but just like every other show that I do on here, I do give you my leans and plays for each game. So, but I do lean the Vancouver Canucks here at plus 115 on the money line. And I like the over 5.5. I think we're going to see some fair share of goals tonight. Fun side note, the over 5 on DraftKings right now is at minus 205 to minus 215 elsewhere for the over 5. That's pretty juiced up, and the over 5.5 is at minus 110. So something's telling you right there that that over that they're going to get the over 5. So I mean that means they're going to cash out the 5.5. So it's a big drop from minus 210, 205 ish to minus 110 just for a half of a goal difference. So I like it. I like the over 5.5 in this game, and I like Vancouver here on the money line. My stronger play, though, is definitely the over 5.5 in this game for sure. Okay, last but not least, we go to Sin City. Dallas Stars at the Vegas Golden Knights. Over-unders here at 5.5. Vegas minus 145 on the money line. Dallas plus 125 on the money line. Again, 75% of the money on Vegas, and 25% of the money going towards Dallas. Vegas at home, 8-5 this year. However, they're 3-10 at home, covering the puck line in their last 13 games. The over is also 6-3-1 in their last 10. Dallas comes in 4-5-1 on the road, 4-6 covering the puck line, and they're 3-7 in their last 10 with the overs. I mean, they were cruising it with the overs, but as of late, they've been going unders for sure. Right off the bat, I like the under 5.5 in this game. Again, I feel like this is a game that could be a 3-2 sort of game, to whoever wins. But I like the under 5.5 in this game. I'm going to go Dallas here. I like the way Dallas has been playing. Of course, that Vegas flu, whatever you want to call it, when people come in there and party their asses off. I just think Dallas has been a pretty solid team for the most part. The road record might not show it, but I mean, for the most part, they're subpar. They're a subpar road team, and I like that. Give me Dallas here, plus 125 on the money line. I also like Dallas puck line as well, plus 1.5, under 5.5 as well between these two. If you're looking at some solid parlays to consider, Flyers plus 1.5, Dallas plus 1.5. Puck line parlay pays out at plus 135, so that's a good value there. My dog parlay for tonight, Stars Flyers moneyline parlay, that pays out at plus 410. Plus 410 on the money line for those two in a parlay. Dog parlay, Flyers, Stars, plus 410 on the money line for a parlay. For considering that, something to consider. But if you want to be more of a safer route, Flyers, Stars, plus 1.5. Puck line parlay pays out at plus 135. So still pretty solid value for the most part. And of course, plus 410 for the Stars, Flyers, straight up money line parlay as well, which is a good return for whatever you put in, of course. So $10 pays you $41. I mean, that's pretty solid to me. All right, so all in all, that basically wraps up the 4-game schedule for tonight. Short and sweet. I'll recap everything. Again, Flyers on the money line at plus 135 and the puck line at plus 1.5. I like the over 6 in this game as well. And over 1.5 first period. Those are my stronger leans. Over 6 and first period over. And of course, a little bit smaller leans for sure is the money line and the puck line for the Flyers at plus 1.5. Avalanche here on the money line, like I said, at minus 135. Obviously, this was from this morning before the line dramatically moved a lot, within the past couple hours here. But now it's at minus 170. Again, if you're not a juicy type of player, take the regulation for the Avs and the -1 if you're feeling that way. I also like the over 6 in this game and the first period over as well. Keep riding out those Avs overs. 7-2-1 their last 10 for the Avs. I mean, you got to keep riding them out until it eventually gives. So there you have it there. Avs minus 135 on the money line, over 6 and first period over 1.5 as well. Vancouver on the money line, plus 115, plus 120, whatever your book has. Shop around. That's what I like. I like the Canucks here to win tonight against the Bruins. A little bit of value there at home. But my more bigger lean, I should say, in this game is the over 5.5. Like I said, I mean, in DraftKings, the over 5 is at minus 205. So, I mean, it's pretty much telling you that, it's going to get to 6. So that's just like, and then another half goal is at minus 110. So the 5.5 is at minus 110. I like the over there, over 5.5 for sure. Bruins, Canucks. Canucks money line at plus 115. And then last but not least, we go to Sin City, of course, the late game drop. I like the Dallas Stars here, money line at plus 125. Stars puck line at plus 1.5. And the under 5.5 between the Knights and the Stars. Like I said, if you missed it earlier, I'd like the Stars, Flyers, puck line parlay plus 1.5. I like that. I'll probably be posting that tonight at plus 135. However, if you want to be a rebel and go for it, the dog moneyline parlay for Philly Pete tonight is the Flyers Stars at plus 410. I might sprinkle a little bit of that as well for tonight because you never know. You never know what can happen. I expect it. Flyers are due for a win, obviously, and the Stars have been playing pretty solid too. So these 4 games tonight are pretty good. All right, and why not? Grand Salami over as well. I'm feeling more goals. We've been getting a lot of goals as of late too, so that's a good sign for those over bettors. But unfortunately, there you have it, and I'm out of time. Hope you all had fun this afternoon. I'll be back tomorrow, same time, same place, 12 in the East, 9 in the West. Have a great Wednesday. It's hump day. Getting closer to the weekend. Look out for those cards, clients, and Twitter, and I'll talk to you guys tomorrow. Bye.